Red Wing, Amber Eisenschenk from the League of Minnesota Cities, back again to talk about the participatory processes that you have in Red Wing. So civic participation is important in any local government. Civic engagement, of course, refers to individuals' participation in public life, which strengthens the social bonds through political or non-political channels. So it's really important, and we always encourage those residents who are interested to get involved. That's probably why you're here today, right? What participatory options does Red Wing have? You might not know all of them, so I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about them. Community members in Red Wing can participate in commissions like Human Rights Commission, the Heritage Preservation Commission, the Sustainability Commission, the Housing and Redevelopment Authority, the Sister City Commission, the Advisory Planning Commission, the Airport Board, the Library Board, the Port Authority Board, the Sheldon Theater Board, and the Charter Commission, as we've talked a little bit about already today. Community members have had the opportunity to participate in engagement activities like the development of the 2040 Comprehensive Plan for the City of Red Wing. For this effort, people have had the opportunity to attend public meetings, to respond to surveys, and to join committees to turn that feedback they have received into pieces of that comprehensive plan. Citizens can, of course, speak during city council meetings on issues that they feel are important for the city council to be addressing. Individuals can always contact their local council members, whether that be your at-large member or your ward members, with concerns or input on issues that you find relevant or that maybe are on the agendas for the council to be considering at an upcoming meeting. Individuals can report concerns, so maybe there is a pothole concern or too many cars are speeding through your neighborhood, those types of concerns on the City of Red Wing's website. And while the city's website holds a significant amount of data and resources, the budget is only available in a PDF form. So that is something that maybe if a resident wanted to be more active in the budgeting process and make suggestions, you could request. You could do a data request for the budget in a different form. So we're talking more about open data and open government there. Cities often face challenges when they're trying to ensure that they have effective public participation. So it can be difficult to ensure that you are getting a wide variety of perspectives, and that comes with diverse populations. We want to make sure we're engaging all of our different populations within your city: age, gender, race, culture, things like that. So we want to make sure that we have included opportunities for them. And the opportunities might not always be a 6 p.m. meeting on a weeknight. That might not be what attracts them most to, or gives them the opportunity to participate. So we have to think about maybe doing things differently in local governments if we want to attract different populations and a more diverse representation of your city. Participatory processes can also be costly in time for staff and elected officials, and in the money that they are using to facilitate those participatory practices. And they are sometimes perceived as ineffective. So that's something that cities certainly do struggle with. There is a knowledge gap to be bridged between citizens and government officials, especially in the complex decision-making processes. Especially thinking like zoning issues that are very technical in nature. Citizens often will think that they have the solution or that they know the solution, and and while their input is certainly valuable and it shouldn't be not considered, sometimes the process is more complex, or there are more factors than what they know about in that decision-making process. So something to keep in mind. Participatory agreements are sometimes criticized as lacking representativeness, and specifically by a disproportionate involving the wealthy and well-educated citizens. Those are the ones who are more typical to be participating in processes like city council. So again, thinking about how your city has participatory processes to make sure that you are attracting diverse communities and diverse citizens to be giving input on important city decisions. And there's certainly a culture gap between government officials and citizens. The public officials have sometimes little experience in organizing that effective participatory approach just because it's not a structure that has been well engaged in government processes throughout time. And the way government organizations function are not always aligned, again, with those participatory processes. Formal decision-making processes are often very lengthy in nature, so maybe that means to pass a city ordinance, you need to have so many meetings about this, so many readings of the ordinance, and that's after you've been talking about it and planning about it and giving notice to the affected individuals, things like that. And that, of course, doesn't always correspond to the expectations of our citizens who expect quick decisions and they want their results soon, right? We all have a little bit of impatience that doesn't necessarily coincide very well with the processes of local government. You may be able to think of some of the great times in Red Wing when the community has worked together, like becoming a finalist in the Deluxe Small Business Revolution or the restoration of the Sheldon Theater, great assets to Red Wing. Other examples of individual or community leaderships include the construction of the Universal Playground, which is a great inclusive playground that you had there at Colville Park. A group of citizens were responsible for bringing the Target to Red Wing, or the group of community members and doctors who helped open the Fairview Medical Center in Red Wing. All great examples of Red Wing working together. Both the depot's renovations and the improved picnic facilities in Memorial Park were initiated by the Red Wing Area Fund and the Jones Foundation. And these are philanthropic organizations, are examples of non-government groups led by community members with access to resources that an individual alone usually does not. So again, that's more about the participatory processes that you currently have in Red Wing. And now you'll get to discuss some more options for creating better participatory processes for your community.